Good morning and welcome to my half-assed channel. My name is Adam Khan, and I guess I already said it, but this is my half-assed channel. So let me start with the usual disclaimer. I'm not a financial planner, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant. Please reach out to any of your advocates for any financial decisions you make and use this channel for entertainment purposes only. Just a guy giving some information that I've learned over the years of what I like to do. So let's talk stocks. What an exciting week. It feels to me like the market might be a little extended at this point. I wouldn't be selling into it. I said to my buddy Steve, I'm like, the reality is this is when if it's going to follow through, this is when it looks over attractive, because we saw it come from low levels and it's moving to levels that now look high. But you might have watched something fall from much higher to here, and they might have a long way to go. But I do feel like we're extended to the upside right now, and we have some things coming along that might give us a nice big pullback. I'd like to think we'll see the S&P stay range traded, but we seem to have gotten above there. So I'm keeping an eye on it and enjoying the ride for the things that I just leave forever, and wherever they go. But I'm going to talk about the top 5 or 6 that I like to watch and their ranges, but stick around because I'm going to save the favorite one for last because there's some interesting things going on there. So Amazon was trading between like 97 it started the week and closed around 102, 103. That's kind of exciting to see, and made a nice base at the bottom. So I'd like to see it stay above those like high 90 ranges, maybe retest a 95 or somewhere around there. Forgive me, I don't chart, I don't do any of that stuff. I just watch this stuff and try to have an idea of its ups and downs over time, because I watch them for years. Disney broke through 100, and look, this week it closed almost 110. I think it started the week around 105 area, bounced around there a bit. Again, I'd like to see it retest 100 to be strong, but it could just, like, they all could just go. I'm not going to predict one way or another, but it's had a really nice move this week. Cracker Barrel, which has been one of my favorites, because when they came out with bad earnings, it's like my attitude is, where's Cracker Barrel going? My guess is the bad earnings is an opportunity to buy. It fell below 100 for a while. Once it finally seemed to get above there, it almost shot to 110. I think that's where it closed this week, almost 109, 110, started around 105. If it got back to 102 or so, I'd be happy to pick up some more down there. I really don't see it going anywhere. If the economy struggles, people driving across the country, going to Cracker Barrels, using those stores, it's good memory. It's funny that been around so long. My guess is they probably pretty well financially stable, boring company, which is awesome for a guy like me. Starbucks has been running great. They pushed up to like 109, 110 this week. I think they started around 105. Same thing. If they got back down 100 or below, I'd start being interested in Starbucks, seeing that it's attractive there. At this point, if you own any, I'd stick it out because I think they're one of the best companies, and I think it'll fit like what McDonald's. I don't know if I've told that story, but it's one of my favorites. Maybe I'll tell it at the end of this video too, after I get to the most important one. And even Meta had to close the week up about $10 from what I saw. I think it started in the 140s, low 140, 141, 142 range, closed up around 150. So, and then the one I was really saving, I kind of rushed through some of the others because I'll start with, I'm talking to my mother-in-law, who consistently asks me for stock tips. And I tell her the same thing I tell everybody, which is, you should pick. And she looks at me, and I love my mother-in-law, and she says, well, no, I don't know the American market so well, which ones you like. And I go, Mom, I can tell you what I like. But honestly, I'll tell you what I like, and you're going to look at me and go, well, why you like that? And I can explain it, but if I have to explain what I like to convince you to buy it as a stock, well, really, you should pick what you like because you have to believe in it. And it's not about buying your friend's stock tip or they know this or they know that. So finally, she pushes me, and I say, well, I like Foot Locker. And she goes, why Foot Locker? And I'm like, I told you. But let me tell you why I like Foot Locker. Now, it's easy to say it now, but I think if you look back, I mentioned it early on in the year. What I love about Foot Locker, especially if we were getting into it where we got in, which is around like 35, 36, 37, or people could have gotten it much better, is not just do they have a new CEO, Mary Dillon. They have a new CEO, Mary Dillon, from what I understand, who chose them. Now, Mary Dillon took Ulta Beauty from what Ulta Beauty was to where Ulta Beauty is now, and I think she multiplied it more than tenfold. That being said, Ulta Beauty, when she came in, was already beginning to transform and move along that route. So a little bit different of scenario in my vision of where I see Foot Locker, because to me, Foot Locker's kind of just company in a mall that's been dying, and I don't know that I really see it. What I do see is her. I see a woman who took a company and grew it immensely, who now sees another company, and she is going in there and shaking things up. I don't know what she sees. I don't know what the vision is, but I'm betting on her. I think she saw something that she really likes in this company, that she thinks she can transform it into whatever she sees, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to go with it. And boy, it took off this week. Once it got above 40, it shot to 44. I trust that the marketplace is always fair, that the price today is fairly priced based on every information that we all have, that the computer data runs it through. Somebody else sees the same thing. This thing took off in a way that surprises me. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see it pull back into the mid or low 30s, but if I wasn't in, I would be sucking it up and getting a little, and then if it pulls back behind a little more. I mean, the strategy of anything I want to be in, I try to get in some, even if it's only 10% of what I want to put in immediately, because I don't want to miss it if it goes. It's hard for me to advise buying anything when I feel like the market's had the run that it's had, but the funny thing is sometimes that's when you have to suck it up and buy, because you can't, not the FOMO, I hate to say it that way, because you don't chase markets, but you don't miss them either. So if you're going to put in $100, there's no reason not to throw $10 at it today and just see if it comes back down, add the next 10 and so forth. But I started reading about she's fired a bunch of executives. She's shut down a few facilities that weren't profitable. I'm excited to see what she has in mind. I mean, the shoe industry has grown immensely. There are interesting things going on with Nike. I don't know if they're getting out of agreements with them or trying to push into them, but I think she sees something here that she's excited about, and I want to be around for some of it. So that's my talk on Foot Locker. I know I went on it a bunch, but I've really liked what I've seen it do the beginning of the year, and I'll bet on Mary Dillon and hope that she pulls something off there, because I'm excited to see what the next 4, 5, 6 years look like for them. Hope you like the information. Give a thumbs up. Well, hopefully somebody views it, to be fair. I mean, I was excited. I got about 10 or 15 views on one of my videos, and normally I'm around 2 or 3. So that was super exciting. So have a great Saturday, and we'll stay in touch.